Good afternoon, everyone. I am meteorologist Lindsay Marlowe with NWS Peachtree City, presenting to you your weekly weather briefing today. Starting off, as always, with some highlights over the next 7 days. Overall, we are looking at cooler than average temperatures and slightly seasonably cool temperatures over the next week. We will be warmer this weekend in general, with highs in the upper 70s to near 80, thanks to a warm front that will be lifting through. However, expecting things to be on the cool down once again as we move into Monday through Wednesday, thanks to a cold frontal passage. Main point that we'll be making today is that this weekend is going to be very wet thanks to a series of frontal systems that will be passing through. Up to 2 to 3 inches of rain is possible through Sunday night, and thus we will see the potential for some localized flooding concerns. Once we make it through the weekend, we are expecting dry conditions once again, at least through next Wednesday. Taking a look at our current synoptic pattern, the southeast is broadly sandwiched between two stationary fronts, and that is helping to keep a moist environment supportive of showers and storms in place. As such, we are expecting rain chances to linger each day through the weekend, unfortunately. Taking a look at today's temperatures, as mentioned before, we're starting off slightly cooler thanks to that shield of showers and storms and thick clouds across northern Georgia, and we're only looking to top out in the 60s for areas north of I-20 and in the 70s for areas further south that are more likely to see peaks of sunshine through the clouds today. As far as current satellite imagery goes, just want to point out kind of two areas of interest. First, to the south, there is an ongoing cluster of stronger storms near the Gulf Coast. Expecting those stronger storms to stay well to the south of our area today, but more on that later. Otherwise, closer to our neck of the woods, we do have a shield of showers and some embedded thunderstorms that have been making their way from west to east across northern Georgia today. Here is a look at some simulated reflectivity for today. So the main story for weather through this afternoon is going to be fairly high rain chances through the entire day, expecting those to primarily be moderate to heavy showers. But as we move into the afternoon, we do see the potential for a few thunderstorms, some which may be strong to marginally severe, especially across portions of south central Georgia. With that in mind, taking a look at our severe weather outlook for today, this was just updated in the past 15 minutes or so, and we do have portions of north and central Georgia outlooked in a marginal risk for severe weather today. Caveat being, this is a conditional threat. If you will remember, we already have some ongoing storms well to our south across Alabama and the Florida Panhandle, and it's possible that we will see those storms cut off the remainder of Georgia, such as the Atlanta metro area, and we may not be able to see or realize the best instability and moisture. So we'll be keeping an eye on that today. That being said, primarily this afternoon, when instability would theoretically be higher, it is possible that we could see a very isolated strong to severe storm or two, and the main concerns associated with any of the strongest storms would be the potential for a damaging wind gust. We will have a very soggy weekend this weekend. Starting on the left, this is a look at our pattern at 8 a.m. on Friday. I mentioned before that we will see a warm front lift well to the north across into the mid-Atlantic, and that will usher in more seasonable highs for Friday and Saturday. And we may see a very brief reprieve from overall quite rainy conditions overnight Friday into Saturday as the first of several dry cold fronts passes through the area. So though we'll be soggy, at least we'll be a little bit warmer if you're someone who would prefer t-shirt weather. Here a look at our highs for Friday and Saturday. You'll see a very slight warming trend as we move into Saturday, but overall highs should be in the upper 70s to near 80 area-wide. Moving into Sunday, this is when we'll start to see, by and large, our major pattern change from wet to dry, when a low pressure system at the surface will pass through, and as it does, that will help bring an end to our series of days of wet weather. So taking a look at our rain chances through the rest of the weekend, these are the days and time periods where we're going to see the highest rain chances. Overall, expecting the Saturday night to Sunday morning period to be by far the rainiest for the area, with rain chances in the 70 to 80% range. But Friday and Sunday we'll see rain chances overall greater than 50% as well. So unfortunately, it's not looking like the best weekend for outdoor activities. What are we expecting as far as rainfall totals and impacts now that we've established that we're going to have several days of rainy weather? Here is a look at our rainfall totals. This is valid through 8 a.m. on Monday. So up to 3 inches is possible through Sunday night, and those totals are going to be maximized across south central Georgia. However, locally higher amounts are going to be possible in any areas that see training of storms or storms with particularly heavy rainfall. So it's going to be quite a wet weekend, and we're going to be keeping an eye on the potential for some nuisance and localized flooding and flash flooding. Portions of southeast central Georgia currently are outlooked in a slight risk for excessive rainfall on Saturday, and this is basically just picking up on areas that are more likely to see impacts from excessive rainfall. So as mentioned before, our rain chances look to be highest on the overnight Saturday into Sunday time frame, and this outlook is going to be valid from 8 a.m. Saturday, to 8 a.m. Sunday. So we will be watching as this is going to be approaching the tail end of our rainy period and making sure that we're not seeing a whole lot of flooding related impacts. Moving into Monday as we kick off the work week, we will finally see kind of the end all of our wet weather as a broad cold front is going to pass through the southeast proper, and behind it we're going to see drier, cooler, more seasonable air usher in and bring an end to our several days of rain. So to wrap that up, in summary, we're expecting cooler than average temperatures in general over the next 7 days, though we will be slightly warmer this weekend in the upper 70s to near 80, and that is going to be due to a lifting warm front. We'll cool off once again next week, and we will also dry off at the same time thanks to a cold frontal passage, and as we move into midweek next week, highs will be in the upper 60s to 70s each day. Expecting a lot of wet weather through this weekend thanks to a series of frontal systems. Main concern is going to be the potential for some localized flooding in areas that see many periods of heavy rainfall, but otherwise our chances for severe weather are quite low at this time. But if that changes, we'll make sure to update our social media and emails as necessary. And once we make it through Sunday, we will expect cool and dry conditions once again. So that wraps up our weekly weather briefing for this week. You can connect with us in any of your favorite ways. All of our connection info is listed on this slide. Otherwise, we hope you all have a wonderful week ahead, and we will be located at any of these services should you need us this weekend.